Have you ever wondered why you are constantly overlooked or undervalued, no matter how hard you try? Why the effort you put into gaining respect or admiration seems to go unnoticed? You are not alone. Millions of men feel trapped in the cycle of trying to please others while silently losing their own worth in the process. But here's the truth. The world doesn't respect men who chase. It respects men who create, men who command attention through their actions, not their words. And that's exactly what this video is about. By the time you finish watching, you'll know the 7 rules that will help you break through ego games, reclaim your power, and rise as a high-value man. Stay with me until the end, and I'll share the single most powerful habit that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Let's get something straight right now. Being high value doesn't mean tearing others down or proving yourself to anyone. It's about transforming yourself into a man so grounded, so confident, and so self-assured that you naturally become the one people admire and respect. That's the kind of man who doesn't need to play games because he's already won. But the first step, it begins with recognizing a hard truth. People treat you the way you allow them to. If you are constantly bending over backward, seeking approval, or over-explaining yourself, you are giving away your power. You are telling the world and her that you don't value yourself enough to set boundaries. Here is where human psychology comes into play. Respect and value are born from scarcity and strength. People don't value what's always available. They don't admire what's easily controlled. The more you focus on proving yourself to others, the more invisible you become. Instead, the high-value man focuses on himself. He prioritizes his growth, his purpose, and his peace. And that's when everything starts to shift. This video is your wake-up call. It's time to stop living on autopilot. Stop being controlled by fear or the need for validation. And start living like the man you are capable of becoming. Remember, the difference between the man you are now and the man you want to be is just one decision. The decision to act. So, are you ready to learn the rules that will elevate your mindset, transform your life, and show the world and her that you are not just a man, but a high-value man? Now that you've decided to take the first step toward becoming a high-value man, let's talk about the foundation of all transformation. Validation. This is where most men unknowingly sabotage themselves. They give away their power by constantly seeking approval from women, friends, and even strangers. Think about it. How many times have you said or done something, not because you wanted to, but because you thought it would make someone like you more? Maybe you stayed silent when you wanted to speak up. Maybe you agreed to something that didn't feel right just to avoid conflict. These small compromises may seem harmless, but over time they erode your sense of self-worth. And here is the hard truth. The more you rely on others for validation, the less they respect you. Human psychology is clear on this. People respect those who respect themselves. When you constantly seek approval, you are telling the world, "I don't believe I am enough on my own." And the world responds accordingly. Women in particular are drawn to men who stand firm in their identity, not those who change themselves to fit someone else's expectations. Breaking this habit starts with one simple yet powerful shift. Stop looking outward for your value and start looking inward. The only validation you need is your own. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I proud of the choices I am making? If the answer is yes, that's all that matters. The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you begin to attract respect. Why? Because confidence is magnetic. When you no longer need others to tell you who you are, you free yourself to become the man you've always wanted to be. You start making decisions based on your own standards, not someone else's expectations. Here is how you can put this into practice. Set boundaries. Learn to say no to things that don't serve your purpose, even if it's uncomfortable. Focus on self-improvement. Invest in your growth, whether it's learning new skills, improving your health, or pursuing your passions. Silence the noise. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey is yours alone, and that's what makes it powerful. Remember, confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being secure enough in yourself to not need to prove anything to anyone. When you stop seeking validation, you reclaim your power. You become the man who commands respect, not the one who begs for it. The first rule is simple, but life-changing. Respect yourself first. Because when you do, the world will have no choice but to respect you in return. Now, let's move to the next rule, one that will teach you how to maintain control in any situation. You've taken the first step, by refusing to seek validation. Now, let's address the next key to becoming a high-value man: emotional control. If seeking validation is about giving away your power, losing control of your emotions is about letting others take it from you. Here is the reality. Life will test you. People will push your buttons, circumstances will frustrate you, and emotions will rise. But the question isn't whether you'll feel these emotions, it's how you respond to them. High-value men don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They lead with logic, self-discipline, and strength. Why is this so powerful? Psychology tells us that emotional reactions are a sign of vulnerability. When you lash out, panic, or show frustration, you are essentially saying, "You've gotten under my skin. You have control over me." And people, whether consciously or subconsciously, notice this. It's why those who remain calm under pressure command respect. But mastering emotional control isn't about suppressing how you feel. It's about understanding your emotions and choosing how to act on them. Imagine this. You are in an argument, and someone says something to provoke you. The easy response is to snap back, to defend yourself immediately. But the high-value response: pause, breathe, assess the situation. A calm, composed demeanor communicates far more power than any words could. Here are 3 strategies to help you master emotional control. Pause before reacting. When emotions flare, give yourself a moment to process. Count to 5, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Channel your emotions constructively. Use frustration or anger as fuel for self-improvement. Hit the gym, work on your goals, or learn something new. Turn negative energy into progress. Reframe challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, view them as opportunities to grow stronger. A setback isn't a failure, it's a test of your resilience. Remember, emotional control isn't about pretending to be unaffected. It's about choosing strength over weakness, calm over chaos. When you master this, you become unshakable. You stop reacting to the world and start responding with purpose. This is where true power lies. In being a man who cannot be easily moved or manipulated. When others see that their words or actions don't sway you, they begin to respect you more. And here is the surprising part: this level of control also creates attraction. A man who remains calm under pressure is seen as someone reliable, strong, and confident. The second rule is clear: control your emotions, or they will control you. A high-value man isn't a slave to his feelings, she's the master of them. Now that you've learned how to master your emotions, let's talk about the cornerstone of becoming a high-value man: confidence. True confidence isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet, steady, and unshakable. It's the kind of self-belief that doesn't waver no matter who's watching or what challenges arise. But here's the thing: confidence isn't something you are born with. It's something you build step by step through your actions and mindset. Psychology teaches us that confidence is rooted in competence. The better you become at something, the more assured you feel. High-value men understand this and dedicate themselves to constant growth. Let's be honest. Lack of confidence often stems from comparison. You see someone who appears more successful, attractive, or talented, and suddenly you feel like you don't measure up. But here is the truth. Comparison is a thief. It steals your focus, your energy, and your peace. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on competing with the man in the mirror. Confidence is built when you keep promises to yourself. Think about the last time you set a goal and followed through. How did it feel? That sense of accomplishment, no matter how small, is the foundation of self-belief. On the flip side, every time you break a promise to yourself, whether it's skipping a workout or procrastinating on a task, you chip away at your confidence. So how do you build unshakable confidence? Start here. Take small, consistent actions. Confidence isn't built overnight. It's the result of showing up for yourself every day, even when it's hard. Start with simple habits like waking up earlier, exercising regularly, or reading for 10 minutes a day. These small wins add up. Face your fears. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Identify one thing that intimidates you and take a step toward it. The more you face your fears, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Focus on your strengths. Everyone has unique gifts. Instead of dwelling on your weaknesses, double down on what you are good at. When you lean into your strengths, your confidence naturally grows. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about believing in yourself despite your imperfections. It's about standing tall even when you feel uncertain, knowing that you are doing the work to become better every single day. Here is the beauty of confidence. It's contagious. When you walk into a room with self-assurance, people notice. They're drawn to your energy, your presence. Confidence commands respect, but more importantly, it gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So the third rule is simple but profound. Believe in yourself enough to act. Because the more you act, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more unstoppable you are. With unshakable confidence as your foundation, it's time to address one of the most critical aspects of being a high-value man. Your relationships, the way you interact with others, whether it's women, friends, or colleagues, reflects your self-worth. High-value men don't just demand respect, they inspire it through the way they carry themselves and the standards they uphold. Here is the truth. Relationships are mirrors. They reflect how you see yourself. If you tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or toxic behavior, it's because deep down you believe that's what you deserve. But a high-value man sets boundaries, communicates his needs, and surrounds himself with people who elevate him. One of the most common mistakes men make in relationships, especially romantic ones, is placing the other person on a pedestal. This imbalance creates a dynamic where you are constantly trying to prove yourself while the other person takes you for granted. Psychology shows that people value what they have to work for. When you make yourself too available or overly accommodating, you unintentionally diminish your value. So, how do you elevate your relationships? Set clear boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They're guidelines that protect your peace and self-respect. If someone crosses a line, address it calmly but firmly. This isn't about being confrontational, it's about standing up for yourself. Give from abundance, not need. When you give, do it because you want to, not because you are seeking something in return. High-value men operate from a place of self-sufficiency. They don't give to fill a void. They give because they're already whole. Choose quality over quantity. Whether it's friendships, romantic partners, or business associates, prioritize depth and alignment over superficial connections. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you. And here's a crucial point. Respect isn't demanded, it's earned. You earn respect by living authentically, staying true to your values, and treating others with kindness and fairness. But kindness doesn't mean weakness. It's knowing when to walk away from relationships that no longer serve you, even if it's hard. When it comes to women, remember this. Attraction isn't about trying harder. It's about being grounded in who you are. A man who knows his worth doesn't need to chase or play games. He lets his actions and character speak for themselves. This is what makes you not just attractive but irreplaceable. Elevating your relationships isn't just about how others treat you, it's about how you treat yourself. The respect and love you give to yourself set the tone for every interaction you have. When you value yourself, the right people will value you too.